first thing about Juneteenth. I don't support it because it is based on a lie. People were not set free by the Emancipation Proclamation. But true history is important, not what an elitist point of view forces to be taught in schools and ignores the real truth of what happened. I guess I've said enough.
Yeah.
You've said enough, boy.
Boy.
You know, my father used to call people boys too, and my dad was a racist just like you are, sir. So let's talk about history. You want to talk about history? Because this is actually why we're here, because of white supremacists like you. So this country was founded on kidnapping black people, whipping them, beating them, hanging them from fucking trees, not letting them be citizens, not letting them vote for hundreds of years. And you're going to come up here and white-splain to people about history with your gold cross? Tell me, sir, this great Christian nation, what Christian values does it display? The founding fathers owned black people like fucking animals, whipped them, beat them, tore out the fetuses of black women, designed this country to only benefit white men 21 years of age and older that owned land. What kind of fucked up Christian nation is that, sir? You want to go ask your son, the history professor? Do you? Do you want to go ask Donald Trump, the grand wizard of your fucking MAGA party, Make America White Again? You went on this rant how I would be happy to celebrate the 13th Amendment in December. Why in the fuck did white people need an amendment to not own black people like fucking animals? Dumbass. That's the problem. Why did it take until the 1800s for that to happen? And you run around with your flags and bald eagles and America, America, guns. Yeah, we're the best, and all this bullshit. And we get idiots like you that think that America is some fucking pinnacle of greatness, and we're not. It was founded on white supremacy. It has run on white supremacy. The foundation is white supremacy. And you voted for Donald Trump because of white supremacy. You went to the voting booth, you and your 16th after your Klan rally, and you looked at the ballot. And you said, 34 count felon, rapist, sued by a 13-year-old for raping her, owes Eugene Carroll $80 million, didn't rent to black people, takes away black history, dinner with white supremacists, question the birth of Barack Obama, insurrection, dead officers, grabbing women by the pussy, stealing from cancer charities, and you went, praise Jesus! Thank God that Jesus sent the white man here. Because you couldn't vote for the fucking black woman, sir. She was the most qualified presidential candidate in the history of our country. But white trash like you just can't fucking admit it. And it's up to me, an actual patriot, not a little bitch like you, to call out your bullshit. This country has never been great except for white people. And you and your MAGA white trash base that inbreed and have sex with your moms and your cousins and your sisters, that want to own the libs and demonize transgender athletes in college sports while you vote for a fucking rapist, and demonize immigrants while you vote for a convicted felon who's white. You just cannot get your brain around the fact that America has only been great. So let me ask you, sir, have you ever had to give the talk to your white kids when they get pulled over at night just for being white? Have you ever been called the N-word? Were your parents in somebody's tree? I'm just asking. Are you paid less? Has your house been redlined? Is your house appraised at a different price? No? You have privilege, sir. Because of what we look like, we are treated differently. That's why America's not great. And we're 250 years into this experiment. And even though 51% of our country are women, little bitches like you buy into the white male patriarchy and you still haven't voted for a woman. You would rather have a white supremacist rapist who defends fucking child molesters burn this country to the ground than thrive under a black woman. At least fucking say it and shove your cross right up your ass. You're not a Christian, you're a Pharisee. You serve an antichrist. You have no compassion or empathy. And my language may not be to your liking, sir, but you know what? At least I give a shit. At least I see America for what it is. You see it for what you want it to be. A lie. And until we address the original sin of this country will never be great. Until it's great for everybody. You are the remnants of the lost cause. From the Civil War, the daughters of the Confederacy. And that is our fault as a country for not punishing the Confederacy, because we get white supremacists like you that are just openly racist, calling people boy. How do you like that history, sir? Do you like it? Does it make your feelings in a hurt? Do you want to say, sir, if you don't love America, you can leave it? If you don't like what I'm saying, you can ship your Klan ass on the Mayflower and go back to England where you came from. Because this shit isn't our land. It's not. We stole it from the Native Americans and the Mexicans. And then we kidnapped black people. That's fucking actual history, Karen. But you don't want to talk about that, do you? Because your little brain has been so indoctrinated by nationalism. And you raised your kids in American flag diapers, and you put them in their bumbo and watched American flags and red, white, and blue on TV. And then when they go to school, you give them freedom Wheaties and they feed their pet bald eagle. And then they polish the Constitution on their car and put 800 trillion flags on the back and 40,000 guns. And you roll down your window and you go to school like a fucking nationalist and say, God bless America. Because we'd sure hate for you to think that people think you don't love America, sir. See, the difference is I actually love America. That's why I criticize it, sir. That's the only way this country gets to be better. And people like you refuse to criticize this fucking country. This is my country as much as it is yours. But the difference is I'm fighting for the people that the flag represents. You're fighting for the flag and not even all the flag. Not the red, white, and blue. You're only fighting for the white. You would take the red and the blue out because that's all you really care about. There's your history lesson, sir. Now, I don't expect white trash like you to actually hear what I have to say, because you're going to go right back into your MAGA universe and put your head right up Donald Trump's ass. You know, the guy that owes a woman $80 million for raping her because you're a Christian, you're pro-life. Sure, you tell yourself that. But don't you come up here white-splaining to black people who've been treated like shit since 1619 and come up here and fucking tell them what history is. You only want white history. There's your history lesson, sir. How do you feel about that? Huh? What's so great about America? I just want to know. Because we lead the world in 3 categories: incarcerations, gun violence, and military spending and white supremacy, which is what you're part of that statistic. Not quality of life, not happiness, not affordability, not housing, not joy, not quality of life. Fucking gun violence, sir. Wow. Praise Jesus, right? And you're so stupid you think that owning a gun is a God-given right because you're so stupid. Where did God write the Second Amendment, dumbass? Where? Where is it in the Bible that God gave us the Second Amendment? And yet when 40,000 people die every year, primarily white people, you don't do a damn thing because you care about guns more than you care about people. And I'll give you this last stat, sir. Not that you actually care. Slavery was white people. Jim Crow was white people. Almost every mass shooting is a white person. All of the boys molested in the Catholic Church, white men. The women abused in the Baptist Church, white men. January 6th, white men. The rapist in the White House, white men. You see a trend? 98% of gun violence are men, predominantly over 60% white men, U.S. citizens. 60% of domestic violence are police officers, primarily white men. Asian internment camps, who put them there? Oh yeah, white men. It sure seems like white people are a cancer on society, sir. But you don't want to hear that because you don't want to lose your privilege. At least be honest. You are terrified to death of being a white minority, and that's all you really give a damn about. Boy, have a white day.